Hello and welcome to 18WJTS Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining us in the studio is the Extension Educator from Purdue University here in Du Bois County, Jan Dougan. Jan, welcome to the show.
Well, Bill, it's so great to be here, and it's always a joy to come and share some information, some educational information with our viewers.
And we're in for a little treat because we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to have a video,
yes,
and then we're going to talk some more.
Yes.
So the video will explain kind of what we're talking about. And today's topic is going to be apples.
Yes. We want to talk a little bit about apples today, tell you about a new resource from Purdue Extension, and it's the Food Link. So the Food Link that we have available is an online resource for consumers to learn more about fruits and vegetables, because we want people eating more fruits and vegetables.
Because it's good for you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good for you. It's healthy. It can help prevent chronic disease. It makes you feel good. I mean, there's just so many different reasons to be eating more fruits and vegetables or adding them to our plate.
And so this new site or this new program is called Food Link.
It's called Food Link. It's an online resource for consumers. And it really came about because when you think about it, you go to the grocery, you're looking in the produce section and you go, you know, what is that? Or how would I fix that if I bought that and took that home? And I don't know if you've ever gone through the checkout line at the grocery store and there's a young checker checking you out and they look at something you've picked up in the produce department and they're not even sure what code to click in because they don't know what it's called or what it is. So, you know, we find that if we can help consumers understand more about the fruits and vegetables that are available to them and how to prepare them and how easy it is to prepare them and incorporate them into their everyday diet, that they're more likely to eat them.
And a case might be apples. So
apples.
We're going to do a video now.
Okay.
About apples, right?
Okay, and this video is just a short 3-minute clip about how to prep apples for recipes that you might want to use them for. So cutting, chopping. So let's take a look at the video.
We have with us 3 different kinds of apples, all good for eating, but we're going to process them into different ways that you can use for baking, saucing, different things. So there's a lot of different ways to cut an apple. You might have a hand apple slicer that you just push down and it removes the core and slices them. But we're going to use our knife. So for eating apples, you're going to want to remove the core. So I find that the easiest way is to do quarters. And then remove the core. Just enough that the stem and the seeds are gone. And then we can go on and slice these. So apples turn brown pretty quickly. So if you're cutting several for certain applications, you can soak them with a little bit of watered down lemon juice. You can even use something like Sprite, and that controls a lot of the browning. We'll slice that again. So if we're making an apple pie, the most efficient way to cut an apple is to use your cuts to your advantage. So you just remove the core as is. Now these are pretty inconsistent when it comes to eating, but if we're going to chunk them up or dice them up, then that's the fastest way to cut through an apple. When you peel an apple, you're going to want to remove most of the body, and then again we can cut through. Use the flat sides and cut into chunks. Then when we think about making things like apple pie, we want to make sure our slices are the same thickness so that they cook through evenly. So with an apple peel, you can leave it on for applesauce. For a red apple like this, you might get rosier applesauce. And then if you strain it out in the end, then it saves you a lot of trouble. But you can see there's a lot of work that goes into peeling a single apple. So you might choose to leave the peel on depending on what you're doing with it. You can also make cross sections for apple chips if you're going to dry your apples. Just cut through cross sections. And you can see the nice star that's left by the seeds.
apples are something that can be used in a variety of dishes. You can mix them with vegetables, you can eat them just plain, you can do whatever you like with them.
You know, there's thousands of varieties of apples available to us, but primarily we use apples 3 different ways. So there's apples for fresh eating, there's apples to use in recipes like pies, cobblers, crisps, salads, for frying, for sauteing, for baking, and then there's apples that are used in hard cider. So there's all those varieties, all those thousands of varieties fit into those 3 slots about what their best end use is.
Okay, so I guess the case would be granny apples I've never thought have been good for eating as an apple. Although some people
Why?
probably like because they're so tart.
Because they're tart. But
So those are mostly for?
So I like to use the Granny Smith apple in baking a pie. I think it makes a wonderful pie. But also, you know, if you want something tart in your salad or in your fruit salad, then to add that Granny Smith apple, it's fine. It's just a matter of our palates and how we taste things and what things taste like to us. So, you know, the great thing about this new resource from Purdue Extension, the Food Link, is that if you want to know more about apples, you can go to purdue.edu/foodlink and click on the apple, and you'll get ways to use apples, how to prep apples, how to store apples, how to preserve apples if you want to freeze apples or dry apples. And in the video, they showed us how to slice apples for drying. So this resource is just super resource for our families and our individuals out there that want to try to eat more apples.
Could I get information about how to keep apples from turning brown?
Yes, you can. And that information is available on the Apple page that tells all about apples. But just for our viewers, for a quick tip, if you add some kind of acid to your apples, so lemon juice or even vinegar, white vinegar or a cider vinegar, that's going to prevent that browning from happening, because when it's exposed to the oxygen, that's why the apple browns on us.
And apples is a fruit that seems to be readily available all year round. Most fruits anymore seem to be available all year round.
You know, we get our produce from all over the world. We want to encourage people to try to eat local, but we do get produce from all over the world, so we do have apples readily available to us year round. However, in the fall of the year, that's the best time that apples are available locally, and for those apples that we get from our neighboring state of Michigan, those apples come down this way and we can enjoy those apples, and I think they're a lot better when they're in season and they're closer to us. They're more local apples that we can choose.
And there are so many apples anymore. I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like there was Red Delicious and Jonathan and Winesap and Granny Smith. That was all I remember.
Well,
but now, you know, there's the Fuji. Isn't there one that tastes like candy? It's maybe even called candy.
Oh yeah, there's the crisp apple, there's the honey crisp apple. That's a delicious sweet apple. And you know, the Fuji apple, the Gala apple, 2,500 varieties are available to us. So there's got to be an apple out there that everyone watching would enjoy.
And there's an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
And so when you think about produce, eating more fruits and vegetables, keeping us healthy, that old folktale isn't so bad.
No, it isn't. Well, Jan, thank you very much for coming in. And remember, check out the Food Link website at Purdue Extension, or you can call Jan to get more information. Today's show has been about apples. We'll have more of these shows talking about other things that you can be using this Food Link for to find more information out. Thank you, Jan, for coming in. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We're local people watching local people.